Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk to you about something that is so powerful, so insidious, and yet so transformative. It's the battle that's happening every single day, whether we acknowledge it or not, and that battle is you against you. Let me ask you a question. How many times have you looked in the mirror and questioned yourself? How many times have you doubted your abilities, questioned your worth, or told yourself that you can't do something? That, my friends, is the battle. We are our own toughest critics. We build up walls of doubt, of fear, of limiting beliefs, all in the name of self-protection. But here's the truth. Those walls you've built to protect yourself, they're the very thing holding you back from your next level of greatness. The story you've been telling yourself, the one where you're not enough, not worthy, not capable, that's just a story. And guess what? You are the author of that story. You've written it. You've repeated it. But that doesn't mean it's true. You have the power to rewrite that story. You have the ability to flip the script, to shift your mindset from one of limitation to one of boundless possibility. But here's the catch. The greatest enemy you'll ever face is not someone outside of you. It's the voice inside of your head telling you that you're not enough. You see, the battle isn't about winning against someone else. It's about winning over your own mind. It's about waking up every day and deciding that you will not let fear dictate your future. It's about telling yourself, I am more than enough. I am capable. I am powerful. And here's the truth that will change everything. When you begin to see your own potential, when you start to believe that you can rise above your circumstances, you become unstoppable. Every challenge becomes an opportunity. Every setback becomes a lesson. Every failure is just a stepping stone on your path to success. But this shift, this transformation, starts with one thing: your decision. Right now, you have the power to decide who you will become. You can decide to let your doubts rule you, or you can choose to step into your greatness. The most successful people in the world didn't get there by avoiding challenges. They didn't get there by playing it safe. No, they got there because they learned how to silence that inner critic, to push through the fear, and to take massive action despite it all. Your battle against you is not something that will just end one day. It's a daily fight. It's a constant reminder that you are your greatest ally or your greatest enemy. Every single day you get to decide what kind of person you're going to be. And when you decide to show up for yourself, when you decide to no longer let that voice of doubt control you, that's when the magic happens. So I ask you today, what will you choose? Will you continue to fight against yourself, or will you make a choice to rise, to grow, to become the person you were always meant to be? The battle is yours to win, and the first victory begins with believing in you. The voice inside your head is often your greatest enemy. We all have an internal dialogue that constantly runs in the background of our minds. It's that voice that comments on every action, every thought, every decision, and every emotion. This voice can be supportive, encouraging, and empowering, but for most of us, it is often the opposite. It can be critical, doubtful, and negative. It questions our abilities, judges our decisions, and undermines our confidence. It's easy to think that the biggest challenges we face are external. We often look at the world around us and think the battles we're fighting are with other people, with circumstances, with situations that are out of our control. We look at obstacles in our way and assume that they are the source of our frustration, our struggle, and our pain. But the reality is, the biggest battles we will ever face are the ones that happen within us, the battles that happen in our own minds. The voice inside your head doesn't just talk to you, it shapes your reality. It creates the narrative of your life. Every time you doubt yourself, every time you ask if you're good enough, every time you question whether you can succeed, that voice is reinforcing the story you've been telling yourself. And if you're constantly hearing negativity and doubt, it becomes incredibly easy to start believing it. You start to accept those limiting thoughts as truths, and when you do that, you start living in alignment with them. You start to make decisions based on fear, based on what you think you're capable of, rather than what you're truly capable of. You hold yourself back because you've let that voice dictate your actions. We all have an inner critic. It's that voice that tells you you're not smart enough, not talented enough, not experienced enough. It tells you that you'll fail, that others are better, that you're not worthy of success or happiness. It thrives on fear, insecurity, and self-doubt. It operates in the background of your mind, often subtly, until one day it takes over completely, leaving you paralyzed by indecision or fear of making the wrong choice. And yet, despite how loud or overwhelming that voice can seem, it is just that, a voice. It is not the truth. It is not your reality. It is a collection of past experiences, insecurities, and learned beliefs, often based on experiences that happened years ago. It's shaped by the fears and doubts that you've accumulated over time. It doesn't represent your true potential. It doesn't show you the endless possibilities that exist for you. It doesn't see the future. It only sees the past. When you start listening to that voice and letting it guide your actions, you start to live a life based on fear, not possibility. You hold yourself back from trying new things, from reaching for your goals, from taking risks. You settle for less because you believe you're not capable of more. And over time, this becomes a habit. You begin to avoid challenges, to shrink your ambitions, to limit your dreams, because that voice is constantly telling you why it won't work out. But here's the thing, that voice is not you. It's a construct. And just as easily as it can build up a negative narrative, it can be rewritten. The key to breaking free from the prison of your own thoughts lies in realizing that you don't have to listen to that voice. You don't have to accept its judgments. You don't have to let it control you. The moment you realize that you have the power to control your own thoughts is the moment you can start to reclaim your life. The power lies in your ability to choose which thoughts you give attention to. Not all thoughts are created equal. Some thoughts will elevate you, inspire you, and push you forward. Others will tear you down, trap you in a cycle of doubt and fear, and keep you stuck. You have the ability to decide which voice you will listen to. Will you listen to the voice that tells you to play it safe, that tells you to stay comfortable, that tells you you're not good enough? The voice that tells you to stay comfortable, the voice that tells you to stay safe and tells you never quit so you're not good enough, the voice that tells you to stay comfortable that tells you you're not good enough, the voice that tells you to stay comfortable that tells you you're not good enough, or will you listen to the voice that encourages you to take action, to trust yourself, to step into your potential? We've all heard the phrase, thoughts become things. It's not just a cliche, it's the truth. Your thoughts shape your perception of the world and your place in it. If you constantly think you're not enough, you will create a reality where you are constantly proving to yourself that you're not enough. If you think you'll fail, you will unconsciously make choices that lead you toward failure. But if you change your thoughts, if you change your inner dialogue, you can begin to change your reality. This process starts with awareness. You have to become aware of the thoughts that are running through your mind and how they're affecting your actions. Are they positive, supportive thoughts, or are they negative, critical thoughts? The moment you notice a thought that is limiting you or causing you doubt, you can choose to challenge it. You can ask yourself, is this thought helping me move forward, or is it holding me back? You have the power to reframe that thought, to shift your mindset, and to focus on the possibilities rather than the obstacles. For example, instead of thinking, I'm not good enough to achieve this goal, replace that thought with, I am capable of achieving this goal, and I'm willing to learn and grow along the way. Instead of thinking, this is too hard, I'll never succeed, replace that thought with, this may be challenging, but I am capable of overcoming challenges and finding solutions. It's about shifting your focus from the limitations to the possibilities. It's about recognizing that every thought is a choice, and you have the power to choose thoughts that empower you. Over time, as you become more aware of the voice inside your head and begin to challenge the negative thoughts, you will start to notice a shift. you will begin to feel more confident, more capable, and more focused. You will start to trust yourself more. And the more you trust yourself, the more willing you will be to take action, to step outside of your comfort zone, and to push past your limits. Your greatest enemy is not the world outside of you. It's the voice inside of you that tells you that you're not good enough, that you can't do it, that you're not worthy. But that voice doesn't define you. It only defines the version of you that you allow it to. When you stop listening to that voice, when you start choosing to believe in yourself, you unlock an incredible power within you. The voice inside your head is just a collection of thoughts. You are not your thoughts. You are the one who has the power to choose which thoughts you will let define you. And when you take control of that, when you master your mind, there is nothing that can stop you. The story you've been telling yourself is one of the most powerful forces shaping your life. It is the lens through which you view the world, yourself, and your future. Every day we write and rewrite the narrative of our lives, sometimes without even realizing it. These stories, whether conscious or unconscious, are the foundations of our beliefs, actions, and decisions. The question is, do you recognize the power of the story you're telling yourself? And more importantly, do you realize that you have the ability to change it? From the moment we are born, we start absorbing information, gathering experiences, and forming beliefs about who we are and what we can achieve. These beliefs, in turn, create the story we tell ourselves about our identity, our worth, and our capabilities. This narrative might come from things we were told by others, things we witnessed, or personal experiences that have had a significant impact on us. Over time, these stories become ingrained in our subconscious mind and dictate much of what we do, how we feel, and how we interact with the world. For example, if you were told growing up that you weren't good enough, that you couldn't succeed, or that your dreams were too big, that narrative can stick with you for years, even decades. It becomes a part of your internal dialogue, playing in the background, constantly reminding you of your perceived limitations. And because you've told yourself this story so many times, you begin to believe it. You start to live as though it's true. The actions you take, the decisions you make, and the opportunities you pursue are all influenced by the belief that you are not capable of achieving something greater. But here's the powerful truth. Your story is not fixed. It is not set in stone. The narrative you've been living by doesn't have to be your reality. The good news is that you have the power to rewrite it. You can change the story you tell yourself. You can transform your identity, your belief system, and the way you view your future. The story you tell yourself today does not have to be the same story you tell tomorrow. The first step in rewriting your story is awareness. You have to become aware of the current narrative you're living by. What do you believe about yourself? What do you believe about what you can achieve? Are these beliefs helping you move forward, or are they holding you back? Ask yourself these questions honestly. What is the story that you have been telling yourself for years? And more importantly, is it serving you? Is it pushing you to grow, to take risks, to aim higher? Or is it limiting you, keeping you in your comfort zone, preventing you from reaching your full potential? For many people, the story they tell themselves is one of limitation. They believe they are not capable of success, that they are destined to fail, or that their circumstances are too difficult to overcome. They allow their past mistakes, their fears, and their doubts to dictate their future. But the truth is, the past does not determine your future unless you let it. Just because you have failed in the past doesn't mean you will fail in the future. Just because you've been told you're not good enough doesn't mean that's who you are. Once you recognize the story that's been holding you back, it's time to rewrite it. Start by challenging the beliefs that no longer serve you. What is the evidence that contradicts your limiting beliefs? Have you ever succeeded in the face of adversity? Have you ever overcome a challenge that you thought was insurmountable? Start collecting those moments, the moments when you proved your doubts wrong, the moments when you showed yourself what you're really capable of. By doing this, you begin to change the narrative in your mind. You start to shift from a story of failure and limitation to a story of success and possibility. Next, begin to envision a new story, one that aligns with your potential. What would your life look like if you believed that you were truly capable of achieving anything you set your mind to? What would you do if you weren't afraid of failure or judgment? What would you create if you were confident in your abilities and your worth? Begin to write this new story. See yourself as someone who is powerful, resilient, and unstoppable. Picture yourself taking bold actions, overcoming obstacles, and achieving your dreams. As you do this, begin to embody this new story. Make decisions that reflect this new narrative. Take actions that are in alignment with the person you are becoming. The key here is to recognize that you are the author of your own story. You have the power to shape your narrative. You can choose to keep playing the victim or to step into the role of the hero in your own life. You can decide to live with purpose and passion, to pursue your goals with confidence, and to embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. The story you tell yourself will determine the actions you take, and those actions will create your reality. One of the biggest challenges in changing your story is letting go of the past. Many people hold on to past failures, regrets, and hurts as though they define them. They let the mistakes they made years ago determine who they believe they are today. But your past does not define you. Your past is just that. It's past. It's a chapter in your life, not the entire book. It's important to acknowledge your past and learn from it, but don't let it trap you. Don't let the mistakes or the challenges you faced in the past dictate your future. Instead, focus on the present moment. What can you do today to move closer to the life you want to create? What action can you take now to start rewriting your story? It's never too late to start. No matter how long you've been living a certain way, you always have the power to change. The story you've been telling yourself doesn't have to be the one you continue to live by. You are the writer of your own life, and you have the power to create a new narrative at any time. As you begin to rewrite your story, you'll find that it becomes easier to take risks and face challenges head on. You'll become more confident in your abilities and more willing to step outside of your comfort zone. Your actions will begin to align with the person you are becoming, and your new story will start to take shape. This new narrative will be one of possibility, opportunity, and success, because you'll start to believe that you are worthy of all of those things. So take a moment to reflect on your story. What narrative have you been telling yourself? Is it a story of limitation or a story of possibility? And if it's a story of limitation, what steps can you take to begin rewriting it today? Your story is yours to create. It's time to step into your power and start writing the story of your life the way it was always meant to be written. Success is not the absence of challenges. It is not the absence of failure or setbacks. Success is born from how we respond to the challenges that arise in our lives. Too often we think that success is something that happens when everything is easy, when the path is clear, and when there are no obstacles in the way. We envision success as a straight line, a smooth journey toward the finish line, but in reality, the path to success is filled with twists, turns, hurdles, and bumps. And the people who succeed are the ones who learn how to face those challenges head on rather than avoid them. The idea of avoiding challenges is one that many people are tempted to believe. We all have a natural desire to seek comfort, to avoid discomfort, and to make life as easy as possible. The human brain is wired to seek pleasure and avoid pain. It's part of our survival instinct. However, what we don't realize is that the very challenges we try to avoid are often the ones that lead us to the growth, learning, and breakthroughs that we need to succeed. It is in facing those challenges, stepping into the discomfort, and pushing through adversity that we grow stronger, more capable, and more resilient. When you face challenges in your life, whether they come in the form of a difficult project at work, a personal setback, a financial issue, or any other obstacle, it's easy to feel defeated. You might want to give up, take the easy way out, or avoid the situation altogether. But what if, instead of running from those challenges, You chose to lean into them. What if you saw every obstacle as an opportunity to learn, to improve, and to prove to yourself just how capable you truly are? Every challenge, no matter how big or small, presents an opportunity for growth. It forces you to step outside of your comfort zone and confront something you may not have faced before. And it's in that discomfort that growth happens. When you're comfortable, you're not growing, you're not learning, you're not expanding your potential. But when you face challenges, when you push through the hard times, you discover new strengths, new abilities, and new levels of resilience that you didn't know you had. You develop the mental and emotional toughness that is necessary for long-term success. If you look at the most successful people in the world, they didn't get there by avoiding challenges. They didn't get there by taking the easy path. They got there because they learned how to face their obstacles with courage, determination, and a willingness to persevere through the tough times. They saw challenges not as roadblocks, but as stepping stones on the path to success. They understood that every setback was an opportunity to learn something new, to improve, and to come out stronger on the other side. Take, for example, the story of Thomas Edison. He failed thousands of times before he successfully invented the light bulb. When asked about his repeated failures, he didn't see them as failures at all. He saw them as lessons. Lessons that brought him closer to the success he ultimately achieved. Instead of giving up after every failure, he persisted. He understood that failure was just a part of the process, not the end of the journey. His success came because he didn't avoid the challenge. He embraced it, learned from it, and kept moving forward. The same principle applies to your own life. Every time you face a challenge, you are given the chance to grow. The question is, how will you respond? Will you shy away from the difficulty, hoping that it will disappear on its own, or will you confront it head on, knowing that the discomfort you're experiencing is just the price of growth? One of the key reasons why challenges are so important is that they force you to develop new skills and capabilities. If you are constantly in a comfortable place, you are not forced to develop the resilience and the problem-solving abilities that are necessary for success. It is in the moments of difficulty that you are pushed to think creatively, to adapt, and to find solutions. These moments of challenge are where the seeds of innovation are planted. When things are easy, you don't need to think outside the box, but when things get tough, you are forced to find new approaches, to think in ways that you never have before, and to tap into your inner resourcefulness. Another reason why challenges are critical for success is that they help you build confidence. Every time you overcome an obstacle, no matter how small, you prove to yourself that you are capable. You build a track record of success that strengthens your belief in yourself. The more challenges you face and overcome, the more confident you become in your ability to handle whatever life throws your way. This confidence becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. The more you believe in your ability to succeed, the more likely you are to take on bigger challenges, to stretch beyond your limits, and to achieve even greater things. Additionally, facing challenges teaches you the value of persistence. Success is rarely achieved overnight. It is the result of consistent effort, determination, and the ability to keep going even when things get tough. When you encounter a challenge, you have a choice. You can either quit or you can keep going. The people who succeed are the ones who choose to keep going, who refuse to give up in the face of adversity. Persistence is the key that unlocks the door to success. It is the willingness to continue moving forward even when progress feels slow that eventually leads to the achievement of your goals. However, it's not just about persistence. It's also about learning from your challenges. Each obstacle you face provides an opportunity to reflect, to analyze, and to grow. When things go wrong, it's easy to get discouraged and focus on what went wrong. But what if you used each challenge as a lesson, an opportunity to improve, and a stepping stone toward something greater? The ability to learn from your failures, to extract valuable lessons from every setback, is one of the most powerful skills you can develop. It allows you to move forward with more wisdom, more knowledge, and a greater sense of confidence in your ability to succeed. Challenges also build resilience, the ability to bounce back after a setback, to keep going even when things are difficult. Resilience is the quality that enables you to endure hardship, to persist in the face of adversity, and to keep moving forward when everything seems stacked against you. Resilience is what helps you navigate life's ups and downs, knowing that no matter how many times you fall, you have the strength to get back up. So how do you approach the challenges that life throws your way? Do you shy away from them, hoping they'll disappear? Or do you lean into them, knowing that they are the key to your growth and success? The most successful people in the world don't avoid challenges. They embrace them. They know that every obstacle is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to get closer to their ultimate goals. The truth is, challenges are not the problem. The way you respond to them is what matters most. The next time you face a challenge, remember that it's not there to stop you, it's there to help you grow. Every challenge you face in life holds within it an opportunity for growth. This might sound counterintuitive at first, especially when you're in the midst of a difficult situation. When challenges arise, they often bring with them discomfort, fear, uncertainty, and frustration. It's easy to see these challenges as obstacles, as things standing between you and the success or happiness you desire. But what if, instead of seeing challenges as something to avoid or fear, you viewed them as stepping stones? What if you understood that each challenge is a doorway to personal transformation, growth, and the evolution of your potential? Challenges, by their very nature, force you to step outside your comfort zone. And when you step outside your comfort zone, that's when growth happens. Growth doesn't occur in the safety of familiar situations, where everything feels predictable and manageable. Growth takes place in the unknown, when you're forced to confront new circumstances, ideas, and ways of thinking. Each time you face a challenge, whether it's a personal struggle, a professional obstacle, or an emotional hurdle, you're given the chance to expand your capabilities, to learn something new, and to test your limits. However, growth isn't always easy or comfortable. The discomfort that comes with facing a challenge is exactly what makes it so powerful. Growth comes from pushing through adversity, not avoiding it. It comes from showing up and doing the work, even when it feels hard, when you don't feel ready, or when you're unsure of the outcome. It's in these moments of struggle that your true potential is revealed. You see, when things are easy, there's no real opportunity for growth because there's nothing pushing you to go beyond what you already know and can do. But when you're faced with a challenge, you have to dig deeper. You have to stretch beyond your current capabilities and tap into new strengths, skills, and perspectives. Think about the most meaningful moments of growth in your own life. Chances are, they didn't come when things were smooth sailing. They came when you faced a difficult situation, when you had to rise above adversity, and when you were forced to learn, adapt, and grow. These challenges, while tough at the time, became defining moments in your personal development. They were moments that shaped who you are today and propelled you toward the person you are becoming. And this is the key. Challenges are not just obstacles. They are opportunities. They are opportunities to strengthen your resilience, to develop new skills, and to expand your mindset. They give you the chance to prove to yourself that you are capable of overcoming adversity. Each time you face a challenge and come out on the other side, you become more confident, more resourceful, and more prepared for the next challenge. The more challenges you take on, the more resilient you become. The more you push through adversity, the stronger you grow. Sometimes the opportunity for growth isn't immediately obvious. It's easy to get caught up in the frustration of a difficult situation and to focus on what's not going well. But if you take a step back and look at the bigger picture, you'll often find that the challenge you're facing holds valuable lessons. Maybe you're being pushed to learn how to manage your time better, how to handle stress, how to communicate more effectively, or how to think creatively to solve problems. Every challenge forces you to become better in some way, even if it's not immediately apparent. Additionally, challenges help you discover what you're truly capable of. It's easy to underestimate your abilities when things are going well because you're not being pushed to your limits. But when you face a real challenge, you have no choice but to dig deeper and tap into strengths you may not have realized you had. It's in the moments of difficulty that you discover the depth of your resilience, creativity, and resourcefulness. You begin to see that you are capable of more than you thought, and that realization opens up new possibilities for what you can achieve. Moreover, challenges have the power to shape your character. How you respond to challenges says a lot about who you are. Do you face them with courage, determination, and a willingness to persevere? Or do you run from them, avoid them, or give up too easily? The way you approach challenges is a direct reflection of your inner strength, your mindset, and your willingness to grow. By choosing to face challenges head on, you strengthen your character and develop the kind of resilience that will carry you through any situation in life. It's important to recognize that challenges come in all forms. Not all challenges are big and dramatic. Some are small but significant, like learning how to deal with difficult people or managing everyday stress. Others are major life events, like losing a job, going through a breakup, or facing a health crisis. No matter what the challenge looks like, the principle remains the same. It's an opportunity for growth. Every challenge holds the potential to help you become a better version of yourself. The question is, are you willing to embrace it as such? When you start to view challenges as opportunities for growth, your entire perspective shifts. You stop seeing them as something to fear or avoid, and instead you begin to see them as valuable experiences that will help you evolve. This mindset shift can completely transform the way you approach life. You no longer run from difficulty, you face it with an open mind, a positive attitude, and a determination to learn from it. The power of this mindset shift lies in your ability to embrace uncertainty. In a world that constantly tells us to seek comfort and avoid pain, this can be difficult. But when you understand that growth comes from pushing through discomfort, you begin to approach challenges with a sense of excitement rather than dread. You start to see challenges as chances to expand your limits and grow into the person you were always meant to become. One of the most important aspects of facing challenges is understanding that you don't have to do it alone. In times of difficulty, it's easy to feel isolated or like you're the only one struggling. But the truth is, everyone faces challenges. It's part of being human. And reaching out for support, whether it's from friends, family, mentors, or colleagues, can make all the difference. You don't have to carry the weight of the challenge on your own. Asking for help and surrounding yourself with people who encourage and uplift you can provide the strength and perspective you need to push through and emerge stronger on the other side. As you face challenges in your own life, remember that they are not roadblocks to your success. They are opportunities to learn, grow, and become the best version of yourself. By embracing challenges as stepping stones on the path to greatness, you open yourself up to a world of possibilities. The more challenges you face, the stronger you become, and as you continue to grow, you'll find that no challenge is too big, no obstacle too daunting. The path to success is not a smooth one, but every challenge you overcome brings you one step closer to the life you truly desire. The mind is one of the most powerful tools we possess. It shapes our reality, influences our decisions, and defines the limits of what we believe is possible for ourselves. But often we don't realize just how much power our mind holds over us. We allow it to run on autopilot, influenced by external circumstances, past experiences, and societal conditioning. We let our thoughts control us instead of understanding that we have the ability to control our thoughts. The truth is, the mind is not something that happens to us. It is something we can actively shape and direct toward the outcomes we desire. Many people go through life on a kind of mental treadmill, repeating the same thoughts and patterns day after day. These thoughts become deeply ingrained in our subconscious mind, and over time, they create the beliefs and habits that define who we are and how we navigate the world. If these beliefs are positive, empowering, and aligned with our goals, they can propel us forward. But if they are negative, self-limiting, or rooted in fear, they can hold us back and prevent us from reaching our true potential. The key is not necessarily the circumstances we face, but how we interpret and respond to them with our thoughts. Imagine for a moment the power of controlling your thoughts. If you could think intentionally, if you could choose which thoughts to focus on and which ones to discard, how would your life change? If you could replace negative or limiting beliefs with empowering ones, how much more would you be able to achieve? The reality is that you have this power. You have the ability to train your mind to work for you, not against you. But like any skill, this ability takes practice and commitment. It requires you to become aware of your thoughts, to challenge the ones that don't serve you, and to replace them with thoughts that align with the life you want to create. The first step in harnessing the power of your mind is awareness. Awareness is the ability to observe your thoughts without judgment. So often, we get caught up in our thoughts, believing every one of them to be true, and reacting to them as if they are facts. But the truth is, thoughts are just that, thoughts. They are not facts, and they do not define who we are. The key is to become aware of the patterns in your thinking, to recognize when you are thinking negatively or self-destructively, and to create a pause between the thought and your reaction. This pause gives you the space to make a conscious choice about how you want to respond. For example, if you catch yourself thinking, "I'm not good enough," you can pause and challenge that thought. Where did it come from? Is it really true? Has there ever been a time when you proved this thought wrong? By asking yourself these questions, you can begin to dismantle the power of the limiting belief. In place of the negative thought, you can replace it with something more empowering, like, "I am capable, and I have the ability to improve with effort." It's this shift in mindset from a limiting thought to an empowering one that begins to create the foundation for success and growth. This practice of shifting your mindset and choosing your thoughts intentionally is not a one-time event. It's an ongoing process. Our minds are constantly bombarded with thoughts, many of which are based on old patterns and conditioning. These patterns may be influenced by past experiences, societal expectations, or even fear of the unknown. But just because a thought appears in your mind doesn't mean it has to control you. You have the power to choose which thoughts you give attention to, which ones you nurture, and which ones you dismiss. The next step in harnessing the power of your mind is to align your thoughts with your goals. If you want to achieve something, whether it's starting a business, running a marathon, or improving your relationships, you need to think in alignment with that goal. Your thoughts must be congruent with the actions you need to take to achieve it. For example, if your goal is to become fit and healthy, but your thoughts are constantly filled with excuses, self-doubt, or negative self-talk about your body, it will be nearly impossible to achieve that goal. On the other hand, if your thoughts are aligned with the idea that you are capable of becoming healthier, that you can make progress step by step, and that you deserve to take care of your body, those thoughts will propel you forward. Aligning your thoughts with your goals doesn't mean that everything will suddenly be easy or that challenges will disappear. What it means is that you approach challenges with a mindset of opportunity rather than defeat. When your thoughts are in alignment with your goals, even when things get tough, you can see them as opportunities for growth. You can push through difficulties with resilience because your mind is focused on the positive outcomes you are working toward rather than getting stuck in negative thinking or discouragement. Another key aspect of using your mind to create the life you want is the power of visualization. Visualization is a tool that many successful people use to align their thoughts with their desired outcomes. By vividly imagining yourself achieving your goals, experiencing the emotions associated with success, and feeling the sense of accomplishment, you train your mind to believe that what you want is possible. When you visualize success, you create a mental blueprint of your desired future, and your mind begins to seek ways to turn that blueprint into reality. Visualization also helps to reprogram your subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is incredibly powerful, and it operates based on the beliefs, patterns, and memories you've accumulated over the years. If you've had experiences of failure, or if you hold limiting beliefs about your abilities, your subconscious mind will reinforce these ideas. However, by using visualization techniques, you can begin to replace the old limiting beliefs with new empowering ones. This helps to shift your subconscious mind toward the belief that success is possible and that you are capable of achieving your dreams. The process of using your mind to create success also involves maintaining a positive mental attitude even when circumstances don't go as planned. Life is filled with ups and downs, and there will always be challenges and obstacles that arise. But how you respond to those challenges is what determines your success. If you allow yourself to become consumed by negativity, fear, or frustration, your progress will slow down and you may even give up. However, if you maintain a positive attitude and keep your thoughts focused on solutions, possibilities, and what you can control, you will continue to make progress. A positive mental attitude allows you to stay motivated, to keep moving forward, and to find new opportunities even in difficult situations. Another important aspect of using the power of your mind is the practice of gratitude. Gratitude helps to shift your focus from what's lacking or going wrong to what's abundant and going right. When you focus on the things you are grateful for, you shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance. This not only increases your sense of well-being, but also helps to attract more positive experiences into your life. Gratitude is a tool that rewires your brain to focus on the positive aspects of your life. And this shift in focus creates a ripple effect that can help you create the outcomes you desire. Ultimately, the power of the mind lies in your ability to control your thoughts, your beliefs, and your emotions. It is not something that happens to you, it is something you actively create. By becoming aware of your thoughts, challenging negative or limiting beliefs, aligning your thinking with your goals, visualizing success, maintaining a positive attitude, and practicing gratitude, you begin to shift the trajectory of your life. Your mind becomes a powerful tool for creating the life you desire. And you realize that you are capable of achieving anything you set your mind to.